Would you be comfortable sharing some of your own psychedelic experiences?
Sure, sure. I mean, the DMT experiences are by far the most profound. And those are the ones that have really made me, every time I've done it, it's just completely made me rethink how I interface with people, what life is, and what that experience, what is that? Is that a well of souls you're entering into? Is it another dimension? Is it some sort of parallel dimension of disembodied consciousness that you seem to be engaging with life forms, with things that know you, that can see your thoughts and see resistance and see bullshit in you? I mean, it's every time I've done it, it's sort of just like, in one way or another, just removed one layer of the onion, one layer of bullshit that keeps you from just embracing the great mystery of this existence, whatever it is.
Yeah, I think we're built on these layers and layers of billions of years of evolution, and sort of from the single cellular organisms, it's all in us still. Mm-hmm. And that our prefrontal cortex, our brain, has kind of helped us focus on what we need as humans in our transition from birth to death. But that when you we talk about the default mode network, which is sort of the part of the brain that's identified as the sense of self. Mm-hmm. And the classic psychedelics weaken that part, and then more information floods. So I think we can get back through all of the intercellular knowledge that is stored in our bodies, and connect with this deeper unitive sense. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's also, they help so much to abandon preconceived notions and just sort of, we don't realize how much of the way we sort of see ourselves and see the world is a kind of a convenient set of armor that we put on to try to protect us from uncomfortable thoughts and protect us from, just mystery. The mystery of but there is a lot of mystery in life. Like, it's mostly mystery.
Yeah.
And I think psychedelics are the greatest mystery. And there's something about them that's just the idea that it exists, that you can smoke a thing and then 15 seconds later be transported into an impossible realm, and that exists, and no one's discussing it. You're every day on the news, they're talking about a million different things that seem so trivial once you've had a DMT experience.
Yeah, you're reminding me of my 5-MeO DMT experience that I had. And it felt like I went sort of back to the moment of creation.
Yeah.
But that I realized that so much of our life is patterns, like you're saying, that we have these habits and we have these patterns and we take them as fixed, but they're not actually fixed. We have put them into motion. And this 5-MeO, by bringing me back to this moment of creation, it helped me realize that the new can enter at any moment, that there's a way. And so I've actually felt that experience which I had one time back in 1985, has been a big part of our success to get to the place that we're at now with psychedelic research, with MDMA therapy, because it helped me to realize that whenever I felt blocked or stuck, that I could try to find something new to enter into the picture, that there's this perpetual ability to connect with creation, to connect with the new, and so much of our life is on cruise control, is on these patterns.
Yeah. And it's easier to do it that way.
It is, and there's advantages to that, so we don't have to rethink things all the time, but it also narrows our vision.
Yeah, it very much so does. It's just so easy to fall into patterns. You fall into the patterns of the group that you hang out with. You fall into patterns of accents and, dress and the way people behave and think about things and the concepts that they adopt. And when you have like a real breakthrough psychedelic experience, it just makes all that seem so trivial. My DMT experience, my first 5-MeO experience, I've done both multiple times, but the first 5-MeO experience, I thought I fucked up. I thought it's over, because there was a moment when you're entering into whatever that great white field of geometry is, where you go, oh my God, am I dying? Like it feels like there's no way I'm coming back from this. Like I've gone so far, and then that fear that fear subsided once the experience just fully kicked in. Like the fear was at the doorway to the experience. Like, oh no, what have I done? And then you go into that. What the weirdest thing about 5-MeO too is the lack of visuals. It's just this great white pattern, this thing where you don't have any memory, you don't have any. You're barely a conscious entity, and you're experiencing what seems to be like the source code of the universe. I mean, it's just a get. It's like I felt like I was shot through a rocket to the center of everything.
And yet there is an aspect of memory, and there is an aspect of us paying attention.
Yeah.
There's still this observer in some ways.
Yeah. It's pretty compromised, but
Yeah.
there's something that you come back with. But it's also very difficult to hold on to, right?
It is, and that's this process of integration that's necessary. But also for the 5-MeO, it's so brief.
Yeah.
So that's where the ibogaine experience can be 12 hours or more, or the MDMA experiences, we make them into 8-hour sessions.
I haven't done ibogaine.
Oh.
Yeah, I've heard really great things from people that have addiction problems, like people that are addicted to pills in particular. I've gone to Mexico, and one of them was my friend Ed Clay, who went down to Mexico because of a pill problem he had, and then he wound up opening up an ibogaine center down there once he had been cured of it.
There is that phenomena where people, once they get healed, they want to help others.
Yeah.
And in particular in the military, you're trained to leave nobody behind.
Yeah.
And many people have said that they, once they've gotten help, now they want to bring all their brothers to have help as well. That there's something about this feeling that it can help not just them, but many other people.
Yeah.
And I think the other part, there's been about why Governor Perry is so interested, in a sense, is that there's been now around 800 Navy SEALs and others that have gone down to Mexico for ibogaine, for both PTSD, depression, traumatic brain injury, addiction.
Yeah.
And he's heard just remarkable stories. But now that you mentioned